Hey guys, it's that guy with the picks. It is Monday, early afternoon. And what we have here is the NFC playoff game tonight, where Arizona at 11-6 is traveling to Los Angeles at 12-5. This line opened up at 4.5. It sits at 3. Rams giving. The total opened up at 50.5. It sits at 49. Now both these teams coming into this matchup limping. Limping bad, honestly. Cardinals, they're coming off a bad loss at home, 38-30 to the Seahawks, where Murray had one touchdown and averaged only 6.2 yards per pass. Where the Rams come in, losing to the 49ers, 27-24, where Stafford came in, losing to the 49ers. And in that game, Stafford threw 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Just more inconsistency out of Stafford. Some week he looks hands down by far the NFL MVP. And then other week he looks like a pedestrian walking across the street. You can't even tell that he's that good of a quarterback. In that game, the Rams, they couldn't get their running game going at all. Where their defense in that game had 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery, which is a lot of turnovers. You would think that it would be an easy win with that Rams offense with as many turnovers, and it wasn't. They still lost that game. Tonight's game looks like we're going to have the services of Edmonds and Connors for the Cardinals, and the Rams are going to have the services for Akers. A little bit more healthy this week than he was last week. He had 8 touches last week in his NFL debut for this season. I expect that number to go up, which will be a big help to this Rams team. If you guys remember Cam Akers from last year, he had a breakout in the playoffs. The kid is a stud. Coming out of Florida State, he showed what he was about last year in the playoffs. I believe this year in the playoffs he will get that same opportunity again. It may not get a full workload tonight, but he will get some type of workload tonight. The kid can be an absolute difference maker. And I see him doing that moving forward. Let's see. This Rams team, they've given up 19 points per game over their last 4 games. Solid. I know Donald and Miller and the rest of the star-studded show of the defense for the Rams will be looking to show out tonight. Jalen Ramsey is, he's star, Donald star. The whole defense is just Floyd star. The whole defense is just loaded. Loaded with stars. I see them coming together tonight and looking the way that they're supposed to look each and every week. And I'm not talking about giving up 19 points a game, because this defense is way too talented to be giving up almost 20 points a game. No. I see it lower. These two teams are almost identical when you look at them when it comes to points per game and points given up per game. Honestly, Murray has not looked the same player since he has come back off the IR from his ankle injury. His numbers aren't even close to what they were before. Okay, I get it. Hopkins is not on the field. I understand that. But even with Hopkins off the field, his numbers should never, ever be this low. I mean, you want to talk about tale of two halves. He was almost a shoo-in as a NFL MVP candidate for the first 8 weeks of the season, a shoo-in. I mean, they were the number one seed in the NFC. They had everything rolling for them. I mean, they were just going. Murray gets hurt. We know how the Arizona Cardinals offense works. It works through Kyler Murray. So if he's not healthy in 100%, this team is not healthy in 100%. And he has not looked like Kyler Murray of the first half of the year since he's come back. Rams. The Rams have been Mr. Inconsistent every week. Stafford looks like another, a shoe-in for MVP talks. And then the next week, he looks like... I don't know what he looks like the next week. He don't look like Matthew Stafford. If this team is going to put a charge in, it had to start during practice this past week. It can't start at this game. It had to start before this game. This team has to come together and gel as a unit. Whenever I'm talking about unit, I'm talking on both sides of the ball. They need to gel as a unit, one working from the other and the other working from the other. They have to intertwine to do what. And I'll be honest with you, preseason this year, this guy right here was the guy screaming. And I got a whole list of guys that'll tell you. The Rams will be in the Super Bowl this year, and they will win the Super Bowl this year. That was me in preseason. And they've done the first half of what I said they will do. They're in the playoffs. This is when the real football starts to play. Tonight, I do believe that we see the Rams gel together tonight as a unit. I see the Rams putting on a nice show tonight at home on both sides of the ball. I don't think Arizona will be able to keep up or have an answer for the defensive stops that the Rams stopped the Cardinals with, in the offensive possessions and the points that the Rams put up in those possessions. I don't think Arizona has the firepower or the horses to go up against them. I didn't believe they had that all week, and there has nothing been changed from last week to this week, from beginning of practice last week to game day today, that has anything changing my mind. They're still without Hopkins. I mean, their number one wideout is Christian Kirk, A.J. Green. On the other side of the ball, you got the NFL's freak show and Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham, and Tyler Higbee is going to produce all kind of troubles for this Arizona's defense. I just can't see how Arizona could ever play with the Rams tonight. Have I been wrong before in the past? Absolutely. Absolutely I have. Am I going to be wrong tonight? Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to be wrong tonight. Guys, you already know what it is. The pick tonight is take the Rams minus the 3 points. Guys, I want to thank you. Thank you for the love and support, the subscribe. The kind words, the shares. Just continue to do it, and I'll continue to bring you content, a high percentage with a higher percentage of winners. Till then, guys, you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to enjoy this game, and I'm going to give back to getting this cash.